everyone. Welcome to Goldie and Friends. Matthew and Opehlia are still away, but we have a new friend joining us today. Meet Honey. She's a bumblebee.
Hello, Goldie, and hello to you all. Which Goldie book are we reading today?
We are reading Scuffy the Tugboat. Scuffy was sad. Scuffy was cross. Scuffy sniffed his blue smokestack.
A toy store is no place for a red-painted tugboat,
said Scuffy, and he sniffed his blue smokestack again.
I was meant for bigger things.
Perhaps you would not be so cross if you went sailing,
said the man with the polka dot tie who owned the shop. So one night he took Scuffy home to his little boy. He filled the bathtub up with water.
Sail, little tugboat,
said the little boy.
I will not sail in a bathtub,
said Scuffy.
A tub is no place for a red-painted tugboat. I was meant for bigger things.
The next day, the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy carried Scuffy to a laughing brook that started high in the hills.
Sail, little tugboat,
said the man with the polka dot tie. It was spring, and the brook was filled to the brim with its water, and the water moved in a hurry. As all things move in a hurry when it's spring, Scuffy was in a hurry too.
Come back, little tugboat, come back,
cried the little boy as the hurrying brimful brook carried Scuffy downstream.
Not I,
tooted Scuffy.
This is the life for me.
All that day, Scuffy sailed along with the brook, past the meadows filled with cowslips, past the women washing their clothes on the bank, past the little woods filled with violets. Cows came to the brook to drink. They stood in the cool water, and it was fun to sail around them and bump softly into their noses. It was fun to see them drink. But when a white and brown cow almost drank Scuffy instead of the brook's cool water, Scuffy was frightened. That was not fun. Night came and waited at the moon. There was nothing to see but the quiet trees. Suddenly an owl called out, "Ooh, ooh, ooh."
Toot, toot,
cried the frightened tugboat, and he wished he could see the smiling face of the man with the polka dot tie. In the morning, Scuffy was cross instead of frightened.
I was meant for bigger, but which way am I to go?
He said, but there was only one way to go, and that was with the running water where the two brooks met to form a small river, and there with the river sailed Scuffy, the red-painted tugboat. He was proud when he sailed past the villages.
People build villages at the edge of my river,
said Scuffy, and he straightened his blue smokestack. Here were men in heavy jackets and great boots were walking about the floating logs trying to pry them free.
Toot, toot, let me through,
demanded Scuffy. The men paid no attention to him. They pushed the logs apart so that they would drift through the river into the sawmill in town. Scuffy bumped along with the jostling logs.
Ouch!
He cried as two logs bumped together.
This is a fine river,
said Scuffy,
but it's very busy and too big for me.
He was proud when he sailed under the bridges.
My river is so wide and so deep that people must build bridges to cross it.
The river moved through big towns instead of villages. All the bridges over it were very wide enough so that many cars, trucks, and streetcars could cross all at once. The river got deeper and deeper. Scuffy did not have to tuck up his bottom. The river got faster and faster.
I feel like a train instead of a tugboat,
said Scuffy as he was hurried along. He was proud when he passed the old sawmill with its water wheel. But high in the hills and mountains the snow melted. Water filled the brooks and rushed from there into small rivers. Faster and faster it flowed. To the great river Scuffy sailed.
Oh, there's too much water in this river,
said Scuffy as he picked and tossed the waves.
Soon it will splash over the top and, oh, what a flood that will be.
Soon, great armies of men came to save the fields and towns from the rushing water.
They're making higher banks for the river,
shouted Scuffy,
to hold the water back.
The water rose higher and higher. The men built the sandbags higher and higher. Higher went the river, higher went the sandbags. At last, the water rose no more. The flood water rushed onto the sea, and Scuffy raced along with the flood. The people, fields, and towns were safe. On went the river to the sea. At last, Scuffy sailed into a big city. Here the rivers widened, and all about were docks and wharves. Oh, it was a busy place, and a noisy place. The cranes groaned as they swung cargoes into great ships. The porters shouted as they carried suitcases and boxes on board. Horses stamped in the truck and motors roared. Streetcars clanged and people shouted. Scuffy said,
"Toot, toot!"
but nobody noticed.
Oh,
cried Scuffy when he saw the sea.
There is no beginning and there is no end to the sea. I wish I could find the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy.
Just as the little red painted tugboat sailed past the last piece of land, a hand reached out and picked him up, and there was the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy beside him. Scuffy is home now with the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy. He sails from one end of the bathtub to the other.
This is the place for a red-painted tugboat, and this is the life for me.
That was a fun story, Goldie.
Yeah, it was. I'm so happy Scuffy is happy to be where he belongs.
Who could that be?
Hi, Honey and Goldie. I have a letter from Matthew today.
Yay! Read it! Read it!
It says, to all my friends back at home.
I hope everyone is having fun reading books and enjoying this cool, crisp November weather. Ophelia and me saw this pretty dock by a lake and took some photos. We also have a huge stack of books we were able to get, and we'll be sure to bring them back with us. We found a lot of golden books for you too, Goldie. We hope everyone there is well, and we will see you all again soon. Love, Matthew and Ophelia.
I'm so excited to have more books for my collection. Do you know when he may come home, Autumn?
I'm not sure, Goldie, but I know before Christmas he will.
That's great news!
Yeah, it is, but I best be on my way today. Bye, you guys. Have fun.
Bye, Autumn!
Today was such a fun day, Goldie.
Yeah, it was. I can't wait to read another book for everyone also.
I love hanging out around here, Goldie.
Thank you all for watching this week. I'll see you all next week with Lily and Torrance.
Goodbye.
Scuffy was a huffy puffy tugboat. Very small but also very bold was he. Though he was a tiny boat, he decided he would float down to where the river meets the sea. So he started down the brook one sunny morning, saying what a happy voyage this will be. Oh, he smiled and splashed along while he sang this happy song. I'm bound for where the river meets the sea. Toot, toot, went Scuffy down the brook. Toot, tooting at every turn he took. Down the river and around the bend, till he came to the ocean, his journey's end. But the sea was wild and rough and dark and stormy. When they found him, he was frightened as could be. Scuffy said, please take me home, and I'll never, never roam down to where the river meets the sea. Because the bathtub will be good enough for me.